Shalom, first and foremost, all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rachakodash, that belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you. Elect out there, shalom unto you. Okay, that's the men and women, those are the real believers that are being fished out by this word, given in sincerity and in truth, 100%. All right, shalom. So this video is going to just give a dynamic and give a little insight on why don't men pursue anymore? And women are wondering, okay, as times are getting tighter and tougher, hey, what's going on? And I'm gonna I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. There are other videos, okay, attached to this. It can become very long, but Lord willing, I keep it concise and quick. I'll try to at least break it up into different videos. I said, why don't men pursue anymore, right? And this is the average story that we men, because, yeah, us that believe, okay, and it's for you women that believe that are without a husband, okay, or that do believe in looking for a man of the Lord, okay? And for you men that actually believe, we understand that this shouldn't be our primary focus, but it is an important thing. For certain men, there's a certain spirit on men that need a woman. Okay, I know from experience. So anyway, but with or without, I know how to be with and without, a base and a bound, so on and so forth. We all learning, right? It says. So let me show what she says, and then it's gonna go into another part of this video. Lord willing, this is edifying.
Why are you more? What's up?
How you doing?
Hey.
You are gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. You look fine yourself.
Thank you.
All right, so I gotta ask.
What's up? Ask me anything.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
Making six figures?
Yes.
And do you live alone or with your parents?
Live by myself.
So you ain't got no roommates?
No roommates or anything.
Oh, okay, good. Because I can't be wasting my time with anyone less than a boss. Here.
Now, this is the commonality of what we believe happens out there. And I don't know. I don't date. I don't do that. I don't, been a while. The dating game or whatever you want to call it, thing has been years. So the point I'm making is you hear, this is, I guess, what you hear generally. Okay, well, the tune is going to change, okay, as times get more and more dangerous, okay? The tune will change, but this isn't just about how much money you make. Do you own your own house? Do you live alone? Like, all the funny signs that men are looking for to see, because she want to move in. That's why if she got room to her, or let alone her and her children, but her to move in. If he make enough money to take care of her and live a certain lifestyle with him. Okay, so on and so forth. We as men see this. Now, what value is she bringing to you, though? Okay, that's the most, and I don't mean if you were thinking looks is gonna be it. That ain't it. And I don't know what made women believe their looks. I think it was social media, but to lead with their looks as the most of what they are. Okay, for men of the Lord, men that are really thinking with the big brain, you know which one you're looking for. You're looking for something attractive, but you're mostly looking for a woman that has positive qualities to aid your mission in the Lord. Okay, so let her finish this BS or whatever, but this is partly why men don't pursue, and I got another video to back up with this one.
I hear you. I respect that, definitely. What about you? You got a job?
What about you? You got faith? You know what I'm saying? You believe in the Lord? Okay, these are equivalent not just to money, but to other qualities. Hey, you cook? How many meals in a row can you cook? Okay, you own a cookbook? Okay, very, all right, this and that. Okay, you start seeing, you got a job? Okay, you work? Okay, how many kids you got? And you start figuring things out. Okay, what works for each other's life, right?
I just started my OnlyFans, so it's about to be up. It's getting there.
Okay. Well, do you live with your parents?
I live with a couple friends, but, I'm about to be up, so it's getting there.
Okay. How's your credit, at least? Because how you going to get your own spot? You got good credit?
My dad about to help me with that, but like it's getting there. What happened?
You're getting out.
Excuse?
One thing that I enjoyed about this was the interview process that went on between both of them. Okay, it should be an interview, and there shouldn't be no hard feelings when you don't get the job. Okay, how can you be of value to each other's life? Well, if you're a true believing man, we know in the scriptures say, let me grab it before I grab the other video. It says, Isaiah 13:12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Okay? So a very precious value, the most valuable jewel, thing that you can possess. Okay? That's what a man is going to become. And that man is a man of the Lord. Okay? A man of the Lord that really believes and practices what he believes, so on and so forth. Okay? It also says in Isaiah 32:2, a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, as a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So knowing this position that men will have, this is for men and women, men, we understand that, hey, okay, we're going to be coveted after. Okay? Women are going to try to flock unto us from what it says in Isaiah the 4th chapter. But let me build up the man that I am to be for the Lord. Okay? Should be the priority. And women will see that power being gained to you through wisdom, through your actions, through your devotion. Okay? Your discipline. Okay? And then from your diligence, okay, and then we'll see all these things and see, that, hey, okay, how can I be of service into this? How can I help to receive the help that a woman will receive? Okay, and what are those things? They won't. That's a different video. I'll wait for that video, but to make that statement. But yeah, okay. Now, when you jump down in this chapter, it's gonna say 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech, because a woman should be careful how she's taking care of her man. She should be careful how she's taking care of her man. Okay? A man, especially a man of the Lord. You should be careful, full of care. Okay? But a lot of women are careless. I ain't got no man to tell me, these strong, independent women out there, right? Oh, I don't need that. I make my own money. If he ain't got all of this and all of that, you ain't making 6 figures, you ain't got your own this and that, you start looking at those things and it's like, hey, what are we literally looking at here? Okay? What is it that's going on here? Well, it's a negotiation, but at the same time, you have to understand, as times get tougher, okay, our stock is going up. This is when the Lord's going to make a man more precious, okay, than gold. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. It's the vintage of how it was, seemed like forever, 3rd generation welfare, whatever the case may be. Those are not going to be there no more to fall back on. And, I'm talking to women that may have something for themselves, but hey, that ain't going to be there to fall back on. Okay? And if you're thinking it's just about money, that ain't going to be there. Money collapsing is in the scriptures. Okay? You're thinking it's about security, that you can call 911. The scriptures talk about that too. Hey, ain't going to be no 911. As the elder in LA said, always stuck with me, he said, when 911 needs 911. Okay? That day's coming when there'll be the National Guard and and troops out, martial law. Yeah. We've been seeing lightweight versions of it already. Fires and ICE raids and quarantines. Okay? It says, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Now, the gird sackcloth upon your loins mean to wear a covering of simplicity, but more so of mourning. Okay, sackcloth was about mourning. Okay, when I say simplicity in it, it goes up to strip you and make you bare. It don't mean get naked. It means to go down to the bare essence of who you truly are as a person. Okay? Basically, this is how women start over. Okay? This is how they become the new creature. All right? You have to start over and be built up with things that pertain to the life of a real woman according to the scriptures. Okay, yeah, you want to have a husband, you want to take care of that household, go right into Proverbs, the 31st chapter, starting around 10. Okay, on down to the end of that chapter, and build yourself up. Like I said, cooking, obedience, being in subject to the man. You know how to be in subject because you do it at work. Okay, and if you can't keep a job because you ain't gonna take no shit from no man, he ain't gonna tell you what to do or whatever the attitude may be. Yeah, if that's how, we know that ain't gonna last long. But if that were to be what it is, you was off, and that ain't gonna work long, and it definitely don't work in a relationship with a man, let alone a man of the Lord. That ain't gonna go long for at all. So that's for men as well to know the type of woman you choose and where you choose her from. Okay, matters. Okay. Anyway, it says strip you and make you bare, basically down to the essence of who you are. Okay, I do believe in the Lord. I know I'm supposed to be obedient unto a man, the right man to lead me. And this way is the court without crossing over and doing it. It's okay. Not IsraelitesMingle.com or nothing. But but there's people that you come across. You see a woman, and for fellas in the grocery store, you getting your shopping single men out there, and a woman checking inside your cart. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what you got going on? You see how they check out your cart. What's on their mind? Hey, a man need to be fed. Some women like, oh, let me feed him. Yeah, be a haven of rest for him, right? That's what the simple message is. And in this day, he'll be there for you. Okay, as it's set up, it says, when the venture shall fail, these government subsidies and Section 8, all that's out the window. Okay, when you got to sign up to the digital or real ID and eventually the MARK to CHIP, okay, it becomes something, who gonna hold you down in those moments? Okay. It says, and the man shall be as an hiding place from the wind and a covert from the covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Okay, when the turmoil and turbulence of life hit, okay, the tempest of life shake things up. Okay, the Lord's gonna make a man more precious. Okay.
Man right here is broke. He's broke. Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you home. I'm gonna take you back home.
Oh.
Yeah, we already know. I think he's an influencer. He's all over the internet on different things or personality, whatever. But the dynamic of what this is showing you, women, don't be fooled by the illusions of this stuff. You can open the door. You're standing right there. These are real scenarios. Okay, men, these gold digger videos, yeah, a lot of it look fake now, especially now. But some of them, you women hold this mentality. And men are not with that. Period. Men are not with it. Okay, watch.
I'm take you back home. Yeah, I'm take you home.
I look like this in your car right now, and you want to take me home. You sure about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you can get any other day, right? Just like you said, you can get any dude to come and pay for your meal and take you out and wine down, right? You can get that at any time, right?
So now we're not going on the date because you don't want to pay more than Starbucks.
Oh, it's not bad. Money's no option.
So if money's no option, then why aren't we going on a date? Like an actual date.
Couldn't even make it past the coffee. And here's the thing that's crazy, to even fuel the date, right? Y'all just get all locked in like that type of time. But men aren't completely stupid. Okay? I'm going to let a little more of this play, then I am followed up with another video. Matter of fact, I have scripture after this as well.
Because one, you're trying to put me on blast. Like, you got your phone out filming this interaction right now.
Okay, because I thought I was getting pranked at this point. Like, it feels like it's not real because I've never had a grown man take me to Starbucks.
And them words, if they affect you, Gird up your loins and show yourselves men from the book of Job. Okay? Gird up your loins, man. That don't mean you gotta put, grab snatcher by her hair. Well, you ain't gotta, man. You gotta do none of that. Okay? None of that's even necessary. Your absence is your power. Okay? The apostles been giving us game on this for years.
For a date. What is this, high school?
You never had a grown man in general, because you acting really unappreciative. Like you expect me to take you to some 5-star restaurant right out the gate. You know what? I'm gonna do you one better. I'm not even gonna take you home.
What?
Any dude can come and get you and take you out, right? Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and make sure that's the case. We'll pull over right
Are you serious?
Yep,
You're not serious. Are you?
Go ahead and get out.
You know what?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Go back on your profile. Ask one of them dudes to pick you up. Take you out.
This man right here is.
See? And we know that goes longer. There's a longer video to it. But just another illustration of how men see it going. Okay? And the audacity that a lot of women believe because they've got followers on Instagram they're just going to be bait when all this crumbles. A movie, you can look right into the movie The Purge Anarchy. Okay? A men going to take it. When that day comes where the lawlessness hits, that covert and the tempest, when all the vintage shall fail, yeah, that day's coming. So men, understand, you're only going to protect the woman if she's your woman, if you're really connected to that woman for the righteous reasons. Okay? And vice versa. And only the righteous reason will be why the woman's attached to you as well. Not to just give free meals or whatever else, knowing her heart is somewhere else. Okay? I got a quick video, then I'll show. Let me get these precepts real quick. Sirach 9. Okay, and this is in the GNT. It says, don't be jealous of the wife you love. You will only be teaching her how to do you harm. And if that comes around, she gets scorned or whatever, she'll go for that. Okay? Especially as empowered as these women are today, right? Just because we know the order doesn't mean that the women will know the order and that they're going to care about that order. Okay? And in Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, 22nd verse says, a woman shall compass men, will be higher up on the totem pole, going against what it says, the natural biblical order, from 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, where it says the head of the woman is the man, the head of the man is Hamashiach, and the head of Hamashiach, Yahushai, is Yahweh. Okay, and then in Genesis, the first chapter, Genesis, the third chapter tells you that a woman will desire her husband and he shall rule over thee. Okay, the natural selection of how that plays out is important. So these are the roles we're looking for out of each other. But men, the substance that you're building yourself up with that's vital is the wisdom of this truth. The things that's for the next life. Now you got to have the responsibility to do you may live gym life. You go to work every day. You pay your bills. You wash the car. You groom, you do all those things. All those things is all good. Okay? Spend time with the Lord. You do all those things. A woman will eventually see what path you're on, and if that's for her, she'll hop on. And as times get more and more out of order, okay, the wisdom and the stability from Isaiah the 33rd chapter will be a treasure. I'll grab it in a second. But look, it says, don't be jealous of a wife you love. You will only give her teaching her how to do you harm. Do not surrender your dignity to a woman. And sometimes your dignity is breaking your habits, breaking your routines. Now, you may have to adjust some things, but they're calculated adjustments. And look, you got to even calculate to a point where you say, you know what? It ain't going to be good if this woman's in my life. That you have the ability to say that and then literally walk away because she's going to take me off the path, okay, for my husband. And good movie for that is The Adjustment Bureau, okay, where that happens. The angels or whatever was trying to keep this man from crossing the path of this woman because he was the savior or whatever of the nation or of the world or whatever it was. He was going to become the president, okay, and they tried to keep that from happening, and eventually it happened anyway. And that's why they didn't want him to be together, because it's going to take him off his path. Well, you got to think about it like that. There's some women that are meant to take you off the path, and there's women that the Lord will give you as meant to help you along the path. Okay? And those are the ones that you're going to, 7 women taking hold of 1 man, when you see what those benefits that they actually have about them. Okay. Anyway, and it's not what's necessarily between their legs. Okay. Come on, grow up. If you're still thinking on that, grow up. Okay. Anyway, it says but this is what it's going into. Do not surrender your dignity to any woman. Let me just buy the kit. It's cheap on Amazon. Just buy the kit. All right. Inside joke. It says keep away from other men's wives, or they will trap you. Don't keep company with female musicians. They will trick you. Don't look too intently at a virgin, at a young woman, right? And really, it's supposed to be a woman. It's supposed to be a literal virgin. Okay, but, we know young woman. It says, or you may find yourself forced to pay a bride price. And in the ancient world, and this is what you people don't understand, the judgment in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. Okay, this is what you have to pay the bride price. You got to pay the big money, okay, for doing it. That was the ancient custom. Okay, that does come out in another way. Okay, indirectly, another way. Okay, you get a woman that you were so, sexually seeking, okay, that you were lusting after, okay, and it's going to cost you, man. Okay, it's going to cost you. If you ain't looked into her actual qualities, the 2 things about that was the first guy, the woman came in and had some questions. She started her interview. Boom. The second, the man, replied with his interview question. Nope, this ain't going to work. Pull over. That's how you really supposed to do it. Hit somebody online, over the phone, whatever you do, however you do it. Now, the second, he was down for it, but then when she held it all in until she realized he pulled a play on her, like, hey, hold on, we're going to go hit coffee first. And then she started, wait, how is this? And I don't know, how come this is broke, and just going all wild. And it's funny they had the white girl doing it. The video was of the white girl. That's what made that one funny. But acting like a nigga woman, regardless. Okay? And that nigga woman ain't just a so-called black woman. Nah, it's the Latino, Hispanic, white, all you Jake women that just hella ghetto, and even you heathens that get down like that. Okay? Asian, whatever Jake nigga that you act like with that degenerate ass attitude, and not of a beautiful, calmly spirited woman. Okay? It says keep away. Look what it, because a musician can perform that on you, right? It says, do not look too intently at a virgin, or you may find yourself forced to pay a bride price, meaning that lust built up that you had to have her. Okay, going to Deuteronomy 22 said, don't give yourself to prostitutes, or you may lose everything you own. Hey, because that's an expensive, exchange. Okay, and if nothing unlawful, but maybe not expedient about it. But if that's be the situation, hey, you should look into a woman. Okay? If that's becoming something, all right? But still look for those positive qualities, something that's not going to derail you from the Lord. It says, so don't go looking about in the streets or wandering around in the rundown parts of town. Okay? Nightclubs all late, you in the bars, and you here in Vegas, you coming down the hallways, the hotel room doors, niggas play, hitting the liquor store to get liquor and condoms or something, whatever, at 3 a.m. Like, this is like degenerate, behavior. The real behavior is to be focused on the Lord and your responsibilities and the righteous woman will the Lord give you for being a great steward. Okay, if it's ministry and the woman say, he got his shit together, and I can't come with him. And this is another thing. These ain't shit ass women out there know that they can't come to you reasonable men, straight up and be reasonable. A lot of them are really trying to deceive, and it don't work on you because you're, like the scriptures say, the word is sharper than any two-edged sword, can even discern the intents of the heart. So you can see through stuff just like those videos, okay? Now, that's good on that. Let's go to the other side of it.
Here's some crazy research for you. So, a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner. Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments.
Okay. So that's the general question right there. Why is that happening? Because we can see through the BS, ladies. Okay. The cookbook thing that I asked women, how many days can you cook a new meal? A different meal in a row. In a row be the thing. 'Cause we need to eat. We need to eat every day. How many in a row can you do? And you really got to live on that. You should be tightening up those things. You'll meet women that are, and that's something that hit my spirit the other day. And some of us may get these prep women. Some of these women that are preppers with the prepper mentality. Okay, to connect us to those situations where those food halls and whatever else is at, that they know how to prepare prep meals. With a bucket. They can heat up hot water with a match and two sticks, and you know what I'm saying. You don't know how this thing's gonna play out, so you can't be completely closed off, men. But we don't have to fall for the low quality of these women. We don't. Okay, what are you really bringing and adding to me? What me taking you on? What is that really gonna do? This is the mentality we're gonna have when 7 women take hold of one man. Those are the worthy women. Okay, the ones that you think the offers from unworthy women aren't gonna be there. Of course they're gonna be there. Okay, so get used to that, ladies. But men, the discernment has to be heightened and sharpened.
Please drop it in the comments.
Okay, so that was that.
And I went to prison for 5 years. When I got out of prison in 2003, I paid child support from that day until just February of last year when I lost my job.
Only because they garnished your wages.
Absolutely, that's what they do. And I actually asked my public defender, where's the proof? I've yet to see proof that the child's mine.
Mr. Manser, you are not
Oh, God.
his father.
Oh, man. 5 years in prison. Dylan, I'm sorry, bro. This is why. This is why I did what I did.
But this
and
is
acted-
nothing I made up. The lab
You
did.
didn't made it all up. You
No,
made
I
those-
did not.
Well, those results
I
apparently
don't know
are made
any
up.
of those people on that form.
Oh, my God. She should be convicted of some crime.
No, I should not. I didn't.
That is fraud.
Mr. Manser,
That is fraud.
I know you're upset. Miss Sear, do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who his father is.
Yes, I talk to him still.
Wow.
Don't ever marry your second choice. He is not the man you still think about at 2 a.m. Don't marry him. Every girl has that one guy, the one who ruined her for everybody else. You never get over him. You just learn to live without him. He set the standard. Every kiss after him feels weaker. Every I love you sounds quieter. You also compare silently every single day, even on your wedding day. You settle for safe because Dangerous broke you once again, and you swore to yourself, never again. You'll say, I'm happy, while staring at the ceiling at night, wondering what he's doing right now. Your physical body will be in the bed next to your husband, but your soul will still be in that old car, that old motorcycle, the old apartment, the old version of you that felt alive. You'll teach your daughters to never settle while secretly knowing you did. One day you will see his name pop up or hear his favorite song and your heart will skip a beat like you're 19 again and you hate yourself for it. If he is not the man who still owns a piece of you, don't put his ring on your finger. Because second choice love turns into first class regret. Marry the man that you cannot live without, not the one that you can live with. Marry the man that you cannot live without, not the one that you can live with.
This is one of the most diabolical videos that I have ever come across in my entire life. I'm not sure that I've ever...
And this is what we think. This is what's going on. Okay? What does it say? You can't build a family in a culture that profits from destroying it. Let's see what he's talking about. Hey, and go back and watch Anton Daniels' reaction to that. I just had to get that diabolical part. Okay, and the scriptures support. Matter of fact, before I even play this, let me get some more scripture real quick on that. Sirach 25. I'll get straight to the point. There's some good stuff up here, though. Verse 13 says, no wound is as serious as wounded love. No troubles are as serious as the troubles that women cause. Okay? And these things, you saw the frustration in that first man, all 5 years in prison to not be the dad. And she knew who the dad was and still talked to him every day. Like, how deep a slap in the face is that? Okay? Now, the other lady was talking about the first choice versus second choice. Where did that choice come from? The first choice, to give your virginity to. Okay, and it's okay. Now we understand we're an adulterous generation. We get that, but that devotion still should go to your new man, the man of the Lord. Okay, and everything. And I'm gonna play another video. Actually, before I play that one. Okay, can you build a family? Okay, because it goes to show you the pair bonding and all of that's supposed to happen ain't happening. So let me read this real quick. This is the 7th verse in Sirach 25. It says, I will tell you about 10 kinds of people that I feel fortunate to know, especially fortunate in the case of the 10th. Someone who takes pride in his children. Okay, meaning you came together. Did it say at the first verse? Yeah, it did. Forgive me. Let me jump up to the first verse. There are 3 things in which I take special delight, things that are beautiful to the Lord and people alike. Brothers who get along with each other, neighbors who are friends, and a married couple who are happy together. Okay, tying them both into that are in balance with one another. It says it here in the 7th verse, I will tell you about 10 things that I feel fortunate to know, especially fortunate in the case of the 10th, someone who takes pride in his children, someone who lives to see his enemies fall. We know that one. A man fortunate enough to have an understanding wife. Fortunate enough. It was given unto you, okay, to have an understanding wife. A married couple who are well matched. Okay? Those are key things. All right? And when you have that, it's a beautiful thing. Okay? And don't if the woman, sometimes you got to look at what the dating market is talking about for you red pillars out there. Okay? We started that, by the way, but for y'all out there that may come across this video, you got to build yourself up to a certain level, and she got to see that level. It all starts with what the Bible's talking about. First, seek ye the Lord, and he shall add all these. Seek ye the kingdom of heaven and its righteousness, and the Lord will add all these things unto you. Okay? From Matthew the 6th chapter. Like the last few verses. Anyway, but yeah, if you have that connection, man, it's a beautiful thing. Now it goes on to say, 13, no wound is as serious as wounded love. A broken heart is what it's talking about, which is your mind, because your mind is what's broken, so to speak. Okay, all that happy feeling that you had is now grief and frustration and disappointment. A piece of you hurt, all of that, man. You're gonna have to learn to get over that. Okay, both of us, we have to mature, because there's a day of the Lord ahead of us. Okay, it says no troubles are as serious as the troubles that women cause. No sufferings worse than the sufferings caused by people who hate you. No revenge is worse than revenge taken by an enemy. And even in Micah, the 5th chapter, it said, now she that is mine enemy. Sometimes we match making bad choices. We get matched, for the wrong reasons. And this woman is here as a test. She's really your enemy if you can get over that. Okay? But after this truth, man, you should be making wise decisions, man. You may be in something right now, a relationship right now that you were in before the truth. But it's going to be hard for her to stay in love with that man that came into the truth. If y'all work well and things is going good, as it says in 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, hey, roll with that. Okay, keep that. But this is just seeing why the unmarried are unmarried. Okay? In these times, it's just taking on another, like when you look at, what was that other one? The Bourne Identity. Okay, with Jason Bourne, right? I can't take you. If I move, you got to move, and I move. Okay, you gotta be locked in with this man. Another precept came to mind. Okay, and also another movie, Book of Eli. He didn't want to take her on. Okay, until she got like-minded with him. She locked in, and that's when it became, a different thing. Now we can move. Okay, and the scriptures say here in Sirach, the 7th chapter. Where did it go? Yeah, 26. Yeah, it says, hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman. An airhead, man. A woman that's just not like, I had a friend that was just choosing a bunch of airheads, man, because they were, visually, they were top notch in his eyes, and then but terrible women, terrible people, terrible mothers. Okay? And that option is out there. And they're going to want a man too. But the woman that has the righteous qualities is who men of the Lord are going to be gravitating to making the choice of. Okay? When they present themselves. Right? Back in Sirach 25. No poison is deadlier than the poison of a snake, and no anger is deadlier than the anger of a woman. A witch can treat you like a snake, okay? She'll inject you with that negativity, man, and just nag at it and just let it course through your veins and try to overtake you. Okay? That's why when a woman is like that, you gotta, as it says at the end of this, you gotta cut her off and let her go. I'll jump up to it. It says 20. Yeah, I was going to reference the serpent, but 24 says, sin began with a woman and we must all die because of her. Right? That was the serpent and Eve and Adam scenario. It says, don't let a bad wife have her way any more than you would allow water to leak from your cistern. Right? If she won't do as you tell her, divorce her. Okay, and there's a certain way you break up with her. There's worldly ways you still deal with that, okay, in that way. But it says, no poison deadlier. It said, I would rather live in the same house with a lion or a dragon than with a bad wife. Hear this, women. This is why men aren't choosing you. And if you want to be of the stock to be chosen, you got to put on these godly qualities, okay? The next chapter really goes into those godly qualities. We all know Proverbs 31. Okay? I've done videos on it. I may do another one to go with this because I got a bunch more. Actually, I will do another video. This will be the negative video. Okay? Things to take and remove from our lives and to mature. And maybe I'll grab the other one video and add that other part of the second part to it. Okay? It says, a wife, yeah. I would rather live in the same house with a lion or a dragon than with a bad wife. Wow. And there are real kimono dragons, and things are big, man. If you really take it verbatim. Okay. Daniel in the lion's den. Hey, hey, sometimes the Lord do put you with somebody to keep you focused. Okay. But y'all can kind of get along a little bit, but then sometimes he'll give you somebody that'll help you and you know, and it'd be a beautiful thing. And then sometimes you'll get that sneaky one that's trying to undermine everything you're doing. You got to be able to discern that as quick as possible. All right. As we get through here, and it'll be evident as the more the Spirit of the Lord comes upon us. Right. It says, when a wife is in a bad mood, her expression changes until she looks like an angry bear. Damn. Her husband has to go and eat with the neighbors where he can't hold back his bitter sighs. Yeah, sometimes you go and you gotta get away, man, not to snap. All right, scriptures is cold. It says, and this is in the GNT. It says her husband, it said 19. It says, compared with the troubles caused by a woman, any other trouble looks small. May such women suffer the fate of sinners. Women, this is the issue. You women that really believe, man, that's looking for somebody for real, that really know that you bring something to it. Hey, this is what you should be thinking about. This is what men are seeing. Okay? And women are snitching on themselves. With this social media is making it evident. Okay, you see enough of this stuff, and I'm not saying, you know, that you should just be studying these videos. You should be studying the ways of the Lord, and it'll begin to make itself understood to you. Okay? It says, may such women suffer the fate of sinners. Woo. A quiet man living with a nagging wife is like an old man climbing up a sandy hill. A quiet man living with a nagging wife. Okay? You can't be on that. Most men are contemplators. Okay? We like to sit back and think and strategize and need a retreat to get away from everybody. And we can just think, especially a man of the Lord. A lot of times, that's where you get into the seclusion so you can get in that closet, okay? And start reading this word and getting the Spirit of the Lord on you. All right? It says, it's like an old man climbing up a sandy way. You're not getting nowhere. You're working hard, not getting nowhere, right? And a lot of, anyway, you men that know, you men that don't, good luck. It says, never lose your head. I mean, you'll figure it out when the time gets there as you grow in the Spirit and you're around the teachers and can ask certain questions and look, looking for certain answers. Hey, the scriptures will bring it out. Okay? The Spirit of the Lord got you. Okay? Never lose your head over a woman's beauty, and don't try to win a woman because she is wealthy. Wow, never heard it said that way. Okay? But yeah, I like that. And that's what, I know men that are into that. And it don't work out. It says, when a man is supported by his wife, there is sure to be anger, arrogance, and humiliation. We seeing that. I'm a boss and you ain't a boss, you ain't this, you ain't that. It also says a bad wife will make her husband gloomy and depressed and break his heart. As I said up earlier, show me a timid man who can never make up his mind, and I will show you a wife who doesn't make her husband happy. Woo! Hey, well said. This scripture, this word, this understanding gives us confidence. Not to be like, yeah, woman, listen to me. I'm a man. I'm the man. You got to listen. It ain't about that. You just understand and know what you know. And there's no compromise in that. Okay? That's the integrity. You can't break the dignity and integrity. And women, there's women out there that are just looking for that. The ones in some of the videos is looking for that. All right?
Wiring different concepts. Men and women can both have sex. But what happens after? Two completely different biological stories. Men are built for volume. Simple biology. Roughly 300 million new sperm a day. And evolution wired him to spread his seed and protect the species, right? Sex for a man is a dopamine flash and a testosterone spike, a quick hit with no emotional residue. That's why a guy can sleep with somebody and literally feel nothing after, because his brain resets almost instantly. He doesn't bond through sex. He bonds through loyalty, respect, mission, and peace. Women, on the other hand, are built for depth. She has one egg, one shot.
Okay, she's breaking it down, the science of it. Okay, with this information about yourselves, men, okay, you should begin to understand things about yourself, about about women, thinking about the man, and vice versa when she starts talking about this other part. Okay? You don't have to sample 31 flavor anyway.
On the other hand, are built for depth. She has one egg, one shot. When she has sex, her body floods with oxytocin, which is the same hormone that bonds her to her baby. Her body literally says, this man is safe. Attach. Every new partner is another bond formed.
Woo. Okay. And it's the one. This man is safe. This man. Then when, as she says, and then broken. Okay. After everyone is broken, how do you break it? With the next guy? By you cheating on the next guy, breaks it. By him doing something that breaks your heart or whatever to make you want to end it. Okay. And it's over now. That's how. Okay. It just keeps. That's the carousel. Okay. That's talked about. Okay. So this is what men are seeing and thinking. So you men, you can test a woman if she just can't lock in with you, as she's about to get the understanding of scientifically. If she can't lock in with you, hey, it shouldn't be hard to see. Women, if you can't lock in with the man and support on his purpose in whatever way that is, okay, because when all hell breaks loose and that tempest hits, the Lord lets the four winds go. Okay, then what?
And broken. Do it enough times and those
broken.
oxytocin receptors turn dull and they start to fade. And pair bonding gets harder. That's not judgment. That is just chemistry. Men thrive on variety. Women pay for it. Different wiring, different consequences. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. Men are the gatekeepers of commitment. Remember that. So men, you're wired to scatter, but kings don't waste their seed, right?
That was important. But kings don't waste their seed, right? With any old freak a leak or whatever, No, it's important that when we're making these choices, these discernments, this is what we're doing. Okay, because the men's spirit is dominant, but you can get a bad spirit on you from dealing with a certain woman. It can happen. I've watched it happen to certain men. Okay, in different ways. Anyway, let's see if she got anything else. I think she got a little bit more. Then I got a man putting a video together. And this is the answer. How come we can't get together? And then as Israelites believing there's a certain something criteria. Okay, back to the old path. Okay.
Discipline beats dopamine every time. So pick a woman who brings you peace and multiplies your purpose. The rest is just in every time. So you're wired to scatter, but kings don't waste their seed, right? Discipline beats dopamine every time. So pick a woman who brings you peace and multiplies your purpose. The rest
Listen up.
is just noise. And women,
Men and women.
your power isn't matching his body count. It's holding your standard until a man proves he's worthy of your depth. So select like your lineage depends on it, because it does.
Absolutely. Okay. You go back to the book of Ruth and you look at that scenario, and she was like, nah, this other man was an Israelite. He was dope too. I liked him. I want to live like that, like you, forever. And so she went back to another Israelite. Okay. I believe that was Obed. Okay, which, Obed, Jesse, and then down to King David and Solomon, King Solomon after him. All right. So the lineage mattered, and that's a heavy lineage to be a part of. All right. So men of the Lord, that lineage is being passed down as well. Okay.
Play against biology, and you will lose every time. Play with it, and you will build a legacy. This is not anybody's opinion. It's biology.
And wanting the man to stay, I'm telling you, that loyalty is huge, she spoke of, right? Meaning no matter what our disagreements are, you ain't got to worry about me doing that to you. I ain't doing that to myself. I don't have old baggage that I want to go back to and just make sure it ain't there no more. And, all the things that you don't mess. Now, if you just want out with a man of the Lord, man, let him go. Let her go. Give her a bill of divorce, let her go. Because instead of her acting up, okay? Women, if this ain't for you, understand what this is. This is not a game cosplay Israelite. No, this is about salvation. This is about us getting delivered in a time that's tumultuous and full of peril. Okay?
Psychology and the truth. And nature doesn't care about your feelings. Men and women can both.
Beautiful. Beautifully said, lady. So let's play a little bit of this. Pretty much the introduction. Okay. He says something which you can't build a family in a culture that profits from destroying it, right? Let's see what he's talking about.
You can't build a family in a culture that profits from destroying it. And somehow deep down, every man already knows that. He feels it in the silence after a court hearing. He feels it in the empty apartment with the half-built crib. He feels it when he looks at pictures of his child he didn't get to take. There's this haunting awareness now that what used to be sacred has been converted into currency. Marriage, parenthood, family, these aren't sanctuaries anymore, they're markets. And the people who control those markets have no incentive to see you succeed. They make money off of your pain.
Yeah, and one easy way is exploitation films. Jake exploitation films. You know, they did that in the 70s and did those movies where he was only a pimp, a gangster, a hustler, something negative, putting those negative stereotypes toward us. That became life imitating art, okay? But it was art imitating life in a negative sense because they put it out there first, okay? All the way up to the game bangers, all the way up to entertainers and famous people, okay? But when you listen to black culture music, it's the worst music subject-wise. All love is about cheating and the man that really loves me and he spends this on me. And now it's become even worse where they're describing the private interactions, okay, in a boastful way. This is what the rap lyrics of our women rappers are about that represent our people. Okay? Exploiting. And then life imitates art. Okay? Because you identify with the raunch situations. Okay? And that goes for both sides. But this is what men are thinking. We're watching what you're shaking it for on Insta. If you're doing it for the gram or whatever else you're doing it for, right? The OF or whatever. But then how do we expect you to be something else? And then we see a lot of ordinary looking women that could be very attractive physically mimic after those images. Then we see the young women mimicking those older women issues that they're going to grow up to be like that. Then it goes down to even the adolescent girls, prepubescent women, you know, prepubescent young women. Okay? And it's not to say that the men should be going along with that, but at a certain maturity level, men grow up to become men. It shouldn't be difficult to see these things, especially if there's men around that are speaking these things. Okay? But the culture has destroyed it to where they only listen to their mamas and they can't take correction from a man. You know, an austere correction. A man damn near got to put his foot in the young man's butt to get him to hear him. And then to not have all holy, unholy retribution fall on you, you have to, smooth it out with the mom, so to speak. Okay, because all the root of the issues come to life with Jake. Okay, and there's another video, I may finish with that video, about how that situation played out and how it was employed for that to happen. Matter of fact, I'll play it now. I could think of something.
It's one thing you never told your ex. Be honest with him. Be honest too.
I slept with his father. Gigi.
What's one thing that you never told your ex?
One thing I never told my ex?
That I was with her ex. That I was with her ex.
Her ex.
While I was with her. She didn't know about it.
One thing I never told my husband.
That you never told him.
I mean, I told this nigga damn near everything. I told him I cheated on him.
How did you cheat on him? What'd you do?
Well, I cheated on like one of our co-workers because we used to work together.
Damn, so he know the person?
Yeah.
And you still did it?
But that was so old. I mean, honestly, we're still like mad.
You never told your ex.
I got with his homeboy after.
After I talked to his friend.
You out of pocket.
I never told my ex.
Honest.
I'm one of his friends.
While you was with him?
Yep.
I was emotionally cheating on him. Oh, emotionally.
And that's a real thing, to emotionally cheat on somebody. That's where it starts. Okay, I got a quick scripture, but then I got something else. All right, Sirach 9. All right, we was in that earlier, but when you get down to this, okay, verse 8, it says, when you see good looking, this is when the woman was talking about king don't scatter his seed, to just anywhere, right? It says, when you see a good looking woman, look the other way. Don't let your mind dwell on the beauty of any woman who is not your wife. And then the comparison begins and blah, blah, blah. Many men have been led astray by a woman's beauty. It kindles passion as if it were fire. Takes hold and it can't stop. Okay. Also, when you go into the book of First Esdras, the 4th chapter, it talks about the power of women in there. Okay, that they have. Okay, and it's really good read anyway, and it'll put you up on it. Now, let's see. Verse 9: don't sit down to eat with another man's wife or join her for a drink. You may give in to the temptation of her charms and be destroyed by your passion. Okay, take over you like a fire and end up destroying you. For lust, it became a demon over you, to control over you. Okay, that's something that that should be obvious.
Did you know the US has a welfare rule that forced black fathers out of their own homes just so their kids could eat? But hidden inside the welfare system was a rule called the man in the house policy. Under this rule, a black mother could only receive assistance if no man lived in the home, not even the father of her own children. Caseworkers came unannounced, opening closets, checking for men's shoes.
Even crazier is it couldn't even be another guy, which the father of the children not being in the house, began to create a scenario where the woman could have her attention by being somewhere else, because that man was out there scattering. I mean, what is he supposed to do when a woman is normally his guard dog, and making sure he don't have any extramarital, entanglements, okay, which is not her place to be doing in the first place. But their relationship is what it is. So he's out there trying to spread his seed around, fulfill the natural man that he is, and it's an issue. And government stepped in. And then now that allows another man to step in and see her struggling with that, and he come over, but he can't live there. Okay? I've seen this firsthand. Okay?
Did you know the US the house policy? Under this rule, a black mother could only receive assistance if no man lived in the home, not even the father of her own children. Caseworkers came unannounced, opening closets, checking for men's shoes, spotting razors, cologne, or a jacket on a chair. If they found anything that suggested a father was present, the family instantly lost food, rent assistance, heating, everything. This wasn't a mistake. It was a new kind of control built after the civil rights movement, when black unity was rising and families were rebuilding. The same nation that broke black families during slavery found a quieter way to do it, with paperwork instead of chains. By the 1980s, millions of black children grew up without fathers, not because men abandoned their families. And when the damage showed, the media blamed black men for the very destruction policy created. The truth is simple. Welfare didn't fail black families. Welfare was engineered to break them. Did you know the U.S.
So If you think about it, the way that it works is the less time a father has with his child, the more money the state makes. That's how it works. The more conflict there is, the more hours lawyers bill. The more supervision, the more evaluators get paid. It's not a mistake, it's a model. It's a business model. They've built a machine that needs broken homes to survive. And the moment that you enter that machine, your pain becomes someone else's paycheck. That's why reform will never fix it. You don't reform a casino by asking it to pay back its winnings. But here's the thing. The destruction didn't start in court. It started in the mind. We were trained generation by generation to see the family as optional. Commitment as outdated, and tradition as oppressive, and love as disposable.
Mm-hmm.
Every show, every ad, every song, every movie, it all glorifies freedom through detachment. But that kind of freedom isn't freedom. It's consumerism disguised as liberation.
Take this video out, man. All right. I'm gonna try to put it in the comments. In the description.
I'm supposed to be in there, man. She doing all this yelling, screaming and stuff, man. I do not want to hear this mess, man.
Where you been? You were supposed to be here 3 hours ago. I done missed my hair appointment waiting on you.
Some dudes just tried to rob me.
What? Are you hurt?
No, I'm good. I ain't hurt. There was two of them. One of them ran behind me and the other one's in front. And they told me, say, give me all your money or you lose your life. I started crying, man. I said, I'm married. What money? What life?
You
motherfucker. Yeah, but hey, real talk. That's the real devotion. Okay? The life becomes getting into these scriptures. They are life. They are spirit and they are life. Okay? I'll close with 1 Corinthians 7. I'll start at 25. Now, concerning virgins, young women, I have no commandment of the Lord, yet I give my judgment as one that hath obtained mercy of the Lord to be faithful. I suppose, meaning he didn't have a woman, right? We all knew that about Paul. It says, I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress. You know, there's going to be a lot of turmoil, and for a lot of men, they're saying, hey, we don't want to deal with it. Okay? We don't want to deal with it. Men of the Lord don't really want to deal with it. Okay? We're winning by keep building up our stock and our of who we are as men of the Lord. Gaining this wisdom, gaining this information, gaining this knowledge. Which I forgot to grab that one, but I'll grab that one before we close. It says, are thou bound to a wife? Do you already have a woman? Seek not to be loose. Don't seek to be without her. If y'all, as I said above, if y'all be pleased to dwell with one another. Okay. All right. It says it, yep. Let me see. Yeah, if he 13, a woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Okay. Another said, and if the unbelieving depart, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Verse 14, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. Okay. So basically, you don't just be so quick to get out of the relationship, because it may be there for a reason. Okay, if she's hindering you with the Lord, it's like, it's cool. Keeps you out the streets. You know, she may not believe in this thing. It keeps you out the streets. You know, gives you purpose to, hey, let that be your life. Okay, but we know your real life is in this word, right? As a foremost thing. That's what gives you the most wealth. It ain't about your monetary, it's your wisdom and in the spirit. It says, art thou bound unto a wife, seek not to be loosed. Art thou loosed from a wife, seek not a wife. So if you don't have a wife, maybe you shouldn't seek one. Let the time happen where you build yourself up, and then when the time comes, the Lord sees fit, He'll give them to you as He will. Okay, and it's still, and a lot of men just, I don't want to have to deal with it. I've met men that are like, I don't want to have to deal with it. Not necessarily, but I don't want to have to deal with it, man. It's just too much. I just rather be alone and just do my thing, and that's the way of life for some men. Just give my devotion to the Lord. That, as Paul said, be even as I. That's great. Roll with that. Don't let them step in and mess up your program. Okay? It says, but if thou marry, thou hast not sinned, and if a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. Hey, but some gonna have trouble in the flesh. You're gonna have to deal with that. Okay? Is it overwhelming? Depends on your capacity and your maturity to handle it. Through experience and so on and so forth, and applying the wisdom of this word. Sometimes, nothing's going to be perfect on this side, okay? So don't let that be the standard. Just your devotion and your heart be perfect toward the Lord, right? It says, but I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that they that have wives be as though they have none. That both they that have wives be as though they had none. 32, I always jump to it. It says, but I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried cared for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married cared for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. Okay, now my point of reading that is so you men and women out there, men should be on their focus. And a woman should be attracted to a man that's on his focus. And if she, wants to be in company with that man, if she wants to choose that man, okay, then that's when it's, what kind of benefit are you to him? All right, and vice versa. As you're on your mission, is she here to derail you and make you look to please her versus pleasing the Lord? Okay, or is it that she's there to aid and help you on your path? Okay, to it might be bills, it might be cooking meals for you, taking care of the kids, all those womanly qualities and duties that a lot of modern women really ain't feeling. Okay, so and then I'll close with this last one. Isaiah chapter 33 verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. This is what should be sought after. Okay, the scriptures say in Job, the 39th chapter, wisdom wasn't imparted or understanding imparted to the woman. That's the purpose of the man. So now you have to go to get the knowledge from the man, of the knowledge of wisdom and understanding. Okay, that's how you grow. That's how you be that. When it said her in her spirit in Proverbs 31 is the law of kindness and wisdom, something to that effect. In the later verses in the 31st chapter of Proverbs, okay, because that wisdom is being conveyed through her husband, okay, and understanding. It says, in wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. This is what the man's treasure should be. So women, this should be your treasure. Okay, this should become your treasure. Okay, to help this man achieve that wisdom and knowledge. Okay, that fear of the Lord. Okay, that salvation may be upon him. All right, so I'm gonna end that there. I mean, I had a bunch of videos. I tried to play as much of them. I'm gonna try to change up and play the other half. It may not be as long as this, but Lord willing, it's still edifying. Giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahshua, and to the next one. Shalom.